Hi Apple lovers and welcome to another episode of the Tech Hub. This episode is a retro Apple series and we're going to take a look at the history of the Apple iPod Shuffle and let's see if it's still usable today. Let's get into it. Let's start the episode. Okay, so let me give you an overview of this episode. I've done an iPod one before. I got the 7th generation, I want to say. And since then, I've been collecting iPods. So I did come across this magnificent blue colored iPod Shuffle, 2nd generation. It's only 1 GB though. So in today's money, when it comes to good quality files, it's not that many tracks on it. But it's more to do this video and just to have one. I love the color. I love the icon on the back. I'm pretty sure it came with this charger. So it's a little dock, look. So literally it communicates via the headphone jack and just sits on there. The only criticism I have on this is when it is docked, that's doing my head in. The logo's upside down. What's that about? But I love this color. It's a great piece of technology. It's got a great history. And that's what we're going to delve into. So let's talk about the history of this device as well as the specification. So do you remember when Apple made an iPod without a screen? It was tiny, it was simple, and it was called the iPod Shuffle. In today's episode of the Tech Hub, we're going to dive into the history of Apple's most minimalistic music player. So let's get started. So let me take you back. The year was 2005. Apple was riding high with the iPod, but Steve Jobs had a vision for something even smaller and affordable. At Macworld 2005, he introduced the iPod Shuffle, a tiny screenless device that used flash storage instead of a hard drive. It was built around the idea of randomness. With no screen, you couldn't pick a specific song. You just pressed play and let fate decide. Apple leaned into this with the slogan, "Life is random," for their marketing. The first gen Shuffle came in two sizes, 512 megabytes and 1 GB, holding roughly 120 to 240 songs. It had a built-in USB connector, so you could plug it in straight into your computer, no cables needed. Apple refined the Shuffle over the years, making it smaller and more stylish. So in 2006, the 2nd generation arrived, now an aluminium clip-on design, even tinier than before. It became a favorite for gym goers and runners, and that's the version that I have. So let's take a closer look at the 2nd generation iPod Shuffle. So the storage options available in this model was 1 GB and then later 2 GB models, storing approximately 240 to 500 songs. I don't know if I need to convert my files, but I can't get that many on it anymore. This is the 1 GB version. So the design, it has an aluminium body with a built-in clip, making it ultra portable. Colors originally launched in silver, but later expanded to blue, green, pink, orange, and product red. I've got the stunning blue color. Battery life up to 12 hours of continuous playback, and controls a simple circular control pad with play, pause, volume and skip buttons. For charging and syncing, it used the 3.5mm headphone jack to USB adapter for charging and syncing with iTunes. This version of the Shuffle was all about convenience, small, lightweight and perfect for workouts or casual listening. Then came the controversial 3rd gen Shuffle in 2009. Apple removed the physical buttons and moved playback control to the headphone cable. People weren't thrilled. If you lost or broke the special Apple earbuds, you couldn't control your music. Apple listened to the criticism, and in 2010, the 4th generation iPod Shuffle brought back the physical buttons, kept the clip-on design, and added voiceover, a feature that read out song names and playlists since there was no screen. By the mid-2010, smartphones are taking over the music scene. Streaming services were the future and standalone MP3 players were fading out. So in July 2017, Apple officially discontinued the iPod Shuffle, marking the end of an era. So uses in 2025, number one, just a caveat here, because the age of these devices, the battery could be an issue. I really haven't tested this one for any certain amount of time, but remember when they're that old, the battery might need replacing straight away. However, it still does work as intended. It doesn't work with Apple Music, it's not supposed to, there's no streaming service it works with. You have to sync it with on a Mac Finder. And you can get iTunes, and I recommend if you are on Windows, you get iTunes on Windows to sync it. That works fine. So you can transfer your own files. Now, again, not from Apple Music. You have to physically have the file. So if you burnt your CDs or if you've purchased and download files, they will work with it. You can also use it as just a USB drive. So there is an option to just use the physical space as a USB drive. So it is very much usable. Am I going to use it? Possibly during my running, but like I said, I think I could convert my songs a bit more. But with the quality of my songs, I can't fit that much on it. So it does work. So the iPod Shuffle may be gone, but it left a lasting impact. It was the ultimate minimalistic music player, perfect for those who just wanted to press play and go. So did you ever own one? Let me know. Do you still use it today? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please be kind. And if you enjoyed this dive into Apple history, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more tech content. You can follow me on Instagram and Threads at TechHubWiltsUK. Please check out my website at www.techhubwiltsuk.co.uk, and I'll see you on the next episode.